If you've listened to me talk on this podcast enough, or if you've followed my social media or are on my newsletter, then you've heard me talk about self-talk a lot. And it's for good reason. I think that this is one of the most important things that we all need to understand, and that has the biggest amount of leverage in terms of low effort for exponential results. I'm always looking for these big lever points with myself, with my clients, with anyone that I try to help. A lever allows you to move a large object or a large amount of weight with minimal effort. So I'm always looking for lever points. Where can I put in less effort and get more result? Because that's the most ideal situation. Of course, you can get a huge result if you put in a ton of effort. That's obvious. Where can you, where can we change a lot without making it super hard, without having to reinvent the wheel, so to speak? And something I've come across in my own personal studies and my own personal development journey, in my reading, in my quest for knowledge and growth, has been the importance of self-talk. Had you met me, or had I been recording this podcast 3, 4, 5 years ago, I would have said, I don't even know what self-talk is. It's some hippy-dippy mumbo-jumbo, and I don't know, why are you even talking to me about this? Just work harder. Just lift weights. Just diet. There's infinite YouTube videos and infinite podcasts and infinite whatever else out there telling you, yeah, just do it. Just man up. Just go. And yet, the world is not doing it. And yet, 60% of American adults are overweight or obese and dying from things like heart disease and diabetes and other lifestyle diseases, and can't do a body weight squat, and not eating healthy even though they say they want to, and not exercising even though they say they want to, and not starting their business even though they say they want to, and not working on their relationship even though they say they want to. So clearly, there's a disconnect between the things that people say that they want and the things that the quote-unquote motivational gurus, one might call them, are putting out there. And to me, that difference is self-talk. Self-talk is what we say to ourselves in our head, in our moments of silence. It's the way we think about ourselves to ourselves. In my course, Mindset Shift, which is all about flipping your motivation switch so that you no longer go through cycles of I'm motivated, then I'm not motivated, and I'm so motivated, then I'm not motivated, and I start, then I stop, and I start, then I stop. And to help people understand human motivation so they can get out of that yo-yo cycle, I start week 1 all about self-talk, because that's how important I think it is. I think that this is the foundation that everything else is built on. If you think about and understand how much other people's words affect you. Many people are still dealing with trauma from something that their mom or dad said to them when they were 12, or something that a teacher said to them, sometimes even in an offhanded way, that has just stuck with them and shaped who they are as a person. I recently read a book called Personality Isn't Permanent by Dr. Benjamin Hardy. It's an amazing book I think that everyone should read. But he tells a story in this book about meeting a woman at a conference who was in her 60s. And she mentioned him, oh, I always wanted to write children's books, but I can't because I can't draw. And he asked, what do you mean? And she said, well, you have to have art and be able to draw to write kids' books. And since I can't draw, I just can't do it. And he said, what do you mean that you can't draw? And basically, through talking to her, found out that when this woman was a child in elementary school, she had been in an art class, and while everyone was drawing, her teacher came around to her and made some corrections on her paper. And in that moment, that girl had a story planted in her head. The story was, I cannot draw. I am not an artist. And now that story became perpetuated over the next 50 years and kept her from ever trying even to do the thing she wanted to do, from accomplishing her dream of being a children's writer. But she stopped herself from doing it because of her story in her head. The self-talk she had, the story she told was, I can't draw. But that was from a seed that was planted from an otherwise innocuous act of her teacher correcting her. I'm sure that in that moment, her teacher was not correcting her to say, you are not an artist, you will never be an artist, you cannot draw, you should give up all thoughts of ever drawing for the rest of your life for the next 50 years. And yet, that is how we work as humans. A small offhand comment, you're dumb, from your brother or your dad, who someone that you look up to, why are you even trying, from a person in power early on in your life, can stay with you for a very long time. But again, that is the seed that is planted. What grows the seed is our self-talk over time, because we talk to ourselves more than any person could ever talk to us. This is why this is so important. We have far more influence than any person could ever have over us because of the sheer volume of interactions that we have with ourselves.
I am so pumped to tell you about my partnership with MyBodyTutor. MyBodyTutor is the world's leading nutrition coaching platform that helps people find their healthy weight and keep it forever through sustainable habit change. If you listen to this show, you know that we do not suffer from a lack of information. Most people know what they need to change. The problem is actually sticking to it long enough to see results. When it comes to diet, exercise, and getting in shape, MyBodyTutor solves this problem by giving you customized plans, one-on-one coaching, and daily accountability. As a bonus for you, they are offering $50 off your first month. What makes MyBodyTutor so unique is they offer daily accountability with a real human coach. That's someone to check in with you, talk to, plan with, someone who can help you when things are going hard. It's not ChatGPT, it's not some algorithm. This is a real human. I know because I'm one of them. I have been working with MyBodyTutor as one of their tutors since 2020. With so much nonsense and misinformation and just bad actors out in the health and wellness space, MyBodyTutor is helping people the real way. They are changing lives. I've seen it firsthand, and I'm honored to be a part of it. Check out MyBodyTutor.com, where you can see hundreds of testimonials and reviews. And remember, listeners of this show get $50 off their first month. Just click the link in the show notes or go to MyBodyTutor.com and tell them Paul from Change Made Easy sent you in your intake questionnaire, and you'll automatically get a huge discount. On top of that, they offer a money-back, risk-free guarantee, so this is really a no-brainer. And like I said, I really do work for them. So if you've ever wanted to work with me personally, you can even request to have me as your body tutor. How cool would that be? Once again, just say Paul sent you and get $50 off your first month, start with no risk, and see how the power of a coach with daily accountability can literally change your life.
Whether we realize it or not, whether we admit it or not, whether we understand it or not, we are constantly in a state of self-talk. We are always thinking to ourselves. We are always verbalizing to ourselves. We are always making decisions to ourselves. So while, again, a mother, a boss, a principal, a teacher, a cousin, an aunt, an uncle, whoever, could certainly say something that could have a huge amount of influence on us, the real reason that becomes so influential to us is because of our own self-talk perpetuating the thing that they said, because we ruminate on it, because we go over it and over it, because we always think about it and have it in the back of our heads. If a teacher told me, you're bad at art, and I never think about it again and I forget about it the second that it's said, then it's not going to affect me. However, if my teacher says you're bad at art, and now every time someone says, okay, class, let's break out the markers and pencils because it's art time today, my immediate thought is, but I'm not good at art, like my teacher said, but I'm not good at art, but I'm bad at art, but I can't do art. Now I have perpetuated that tiny little thought, and I'm continuing to water that seed and allowing it to grow into that mighty oak tree that is going to then have a huge, huge, huge effect and impact on my life, on my decision making going forward. So then we see that how other people talk to us affects us, and then our self-talk becomes even more important because it's so pervasive. It's every day. And what gets repeated gets remembered. Remember that. What gets repeated gets remembered. I just said it twice so that you can remember it. Because the more repetitions, the more it gets drilled into our brain. So in that example, again, hearing it one time from the teacher may or may not do anything unless we are then repeating it over to ourselves. There's something to be said here about what's called the negativity bias. As humans, this is our natural inclination. We are naturally inclined to pay more attention to the negative aspects of things. This comes, as all things do, from an evolutionary biological imperative. Meaning our brain is more inclined to pay attention to negative things because negative things are potentially dangerous. Everything that we do comes from, in an evolutionary sense, when we were cavemen and hunters and gatherers and still had to fight for survival. Right now, no one's fighting for survival. If you're listening to this podcast on an iPhone, you're not fighting for your survival. But there was a time in human history where there was a very real chance of starving to death or of getting eaten by a predator. So our brains learned as a evolutionary tactic to remember negative things. It had to remember that berry bush is poison. Over there is where the lion lives. We should stay away from that area. So our brain learns to pay more attention to negative things. So far, two important points that I really need to hammer home to you. One is that self-talk is extremely powerful because of its pervasiveness in our day-to-day life, meaning how often it happens. We are always with ourselves. We are always with our brain. I am me every second of the day. I can't overemphasize how important that is, because if someone else was standing next to you telling you shitty things all day, whispering in your ear, hey, you're stupid, hey, you're less than, hey, you can't do it, you tell that person, hey, fuck off. And yet, when we do it to ourselves, we just allow it to happen. Then also understand that we have a natural proclivity as humans to focus on negative things. And then our self-talk just perpetuates it. All of this is to say, self-talk is important. So now, understanding that, what can we do about it? The first step is awareness. A lot of people, they hear stuff like this, oh, self-talk or something like that, but it's like, what does it even mean? So I'm hopeful that this first few minutes kind of broke down the understanding of why this is so important and how powerful it can be in shaping our lives and guiding our lives, and understanding that even if you don't believe in it or don't want to believe in it or don't care about it, it is affecting you. And that's why it's so important. There's certain things you can be like, I don't really care about that, but this doesn't care about your opinion. You not believing in it, you not wanting to believe in it, you not wanting to work on it, doesn't matter. It's going to affect you. This will shape your life. It is shaping your life. It has shaped your life, and it will continue to. So you might as well get out ahead of it, get into the driver's seat, and start to take advantage of it and use it as a positive driving force rather than a negative one. How do we do that? The first biggest step to me is affirmations. Affirmations are so powerful because they're just self-talk that we decide. Meaning, I said before, a lot of this self-talk, almost all of it, goes on subconsciously. How can we flip the script? Well, we take action. We play offense, and we do that by creating our own affirmations. It's a fact. To our brain, memories, thoughts, they're the same thing. There is no tape. There is no movie screen. There is just what we think in our head. I can create a memory just like I can create a thought. So by creating these thoughts and memories, by affirming them over and over, by saying this stuff, it becomes real in my head. It becomes just as real to me, to my brain, as it actually happening in the past was. Visualization is real. They've done studies with this with elite athletes where they had basketball players shooting free throws, practicing shooting free throws, and then they had other basketball players who envisioned themselves shooting free throws, meaning not actually shooting the ball, just closing their eyes and envisioning it, and then they tested their free throw percentage. And the visualization group had just as much, if not more, improvement as the actual free throw group, meaning visualizing the thing is just as real to us as doing the thing. Now, I'm not saying that it takes the place of practice. If you want to be good at basketball, you still have to practice basketball, but visualization, affirmation has a real place in changing the way your brain works. So if you want to make positive change, this is the place to start, because again, coming back to what I said in the beginning, the lever this allows you, meaning there's no cost to this. There's no negative to this. There's no reason not to. If I said, hey, you have to go shoot 100 free throws a day, you might go, well, I don't have time. I don't have a basketball court. I don't have the ability or the financial time to take off of work or whatever. But if I said you have to visualize yourself doing it, there's no reason not to. There's nothing to hold you back from that. There's nothing that you can't do about that, literally every day. So whatever the thing is that you want to change, whether it's your relationships, whether it's your financial situations, whether it's your health, your happiness, your fitness, your weight, it doesn't matter. You can start with affirming, I am the type of person who does this. I do this. I am this person. And you say it over and over and over until it becomes the thing that your brain believes. By constant repetition, you will remember it. And by remembering it, it becomes real. Just like an eyewitness on the stand will sit and swear, I saw that person. I know that they did it. And then DNA evidence will come out 20 years later proving that they didn't. Well, was that person lying? No, they remembered it. To them, that memory was real. It was just a false memory. And that's what we're doing here. You can implant false memories into your brain, but in a positive way. You can say, I do this. I am this. I am a person who eats healthy. I do not give up on my diet. I go to the gym 5 days a week. I do this, I do that. And we continually repeat until it becomes a reality in our brain. All we are doing is using what's already there in our brain, these natural inclinations to repeat these things and to adhere to the things that we repeat and using them to our advantage. So, action steps for today. Create a set of affirmations around whatever you are trying to do. So again, if there is a business goal you can have business affirmations. If it's just life stuff in general, you can have life affirmations, fitness affirmations, health affirmations. Put them in a place where you'll see them every day. This is the very first step I do with every client that I work with, is have them write out affirmations, put them on sticky notes, and put them where they will see them first thing in the morning every single day and read them out loud. You don't have to overthink it or do anything. You do it while you're brushing your teeth. That's what I do. I have an audio that I play as I'm brushing my teeth and flossing every morning. So in the 4 minutes it takes me to brush my teeth and floss, I listen to my affirmations every single morning. I also have other ones that I read out loud, but that's a great place to start. It doesn't have to be complicated, but this stuff is so powerful. And again, such a huge lever for you that there's no reason that you should not be doing it. And again, there's a reason that I start my course, week 1, day 1, stories and self-talk. There's a reason that every client that I work with in a one-on-one coaching capacity, the very first thing we do is affirmations and self-talk. This stuff cannot be overstated. If you're interested in learning more about Mindset Shift, my course, please connect with me on Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook or wherever, and I will send you information on that. And if you're interested on becoming one of my few one-on-one coaching clients, please reach out to me and DM me coaching, and we can talk about that as well, because this stuff is real. This stuff is not easy. And having someone in your corner, being educated and understanding the power of all of the stuff that we're going to talk about is invaluable in your journey for personal growth, for personal development, for health, for fitness, for happiness, for wellness, for whatever else you're seeking. So I hope that this helped. I hope that you kind of understand the importance of self-talk and why we need to understand it. And I hope that this simple action step of creating some affirmations to use on a daily basis is something that you will put into action right now and move forward with, because I promise you, if you stay consistent with this and actually do it every day, don't read the affirmations once and be like, well, it didn't help. My life isn't any different. Obviously not. Every morning, do it for a month, do it for 2 months, and just really, really make this a thing. It's so easy. It's so easy, guys. Please. I'm not asking you to go run a marathon. I'm asking you to read some Post-it notes for a minute each morning. It's really, really simple. So I hope this helps. Please, as always, share this, screenshot this, send this to a friend.
If you're working on changing your diet, exercise, or other habits around food and fitness, you have to check out MyBodyTutor. MyBodyTutor is the world's leading nutrition coaching platform that helps people find their healthy weight and keep it forever through sustainable habit change. And you know, as a listener of this show, that when it comes to creating change, it's all about sustainability and consistency. And when it comes to diet, exercise, and getting in shape, MyBodyTutor solves the problem of consistency through one-on-one coaching, customized plans, and daily accountability. And as a bonus for you, they're offering $50 off your first month. But what really makes MyBodyTutor so unique is they offer daily accountability with a real human coach. And I know because I'm one of them. I have been working with MyBodyTutor since 2020. There's so much misinformation, so much nonsense out there in the health and wellness space, but not with MyBodyTutor. MyBodyTutor is the real deal. They are changing lives. I've seen it, I've been a part of it, and I'm honored to continue to grow with them. And you don't have to take my word for it. Check out mybodytutor.com, where you will see hundreds of testimonials and reviews. And as a special bonus, for listeners of this show, you will get $50 off your first month. Just click the link in the show notes or go to mybodytutor.com and tell them Paul from Change Made Easy sent you in your intake questionnaire, and you'll automatically get a huge discount. And remember, they offer a money-back, risk-free guarantee, so this is a no-brainer for you. And no joke, I really do work for them. So if you want to work with me personally, ask for Paul as your tutor. Once again, tell them Paul from Change Made Easy sent you for $50 off your first month. Start with no risk and see how the power of a coach with daily accountability can literally change your life.